Well, it has very little to do with Virginia Woolf, actually, but it'll become clear early on what her connection is to the story. Really, it's about, on the surface of it, it's about a middle-aged couple who've returned home very late at night from a faculty party at their college in New England. It's the early 60s, and we see right away there's some tension between the two of them. What we are about to find out is that it's probably almost a quarter century worth of tension and building resentment and conflict between the two of them. They've been married for that long, and on this night, it's all going to come out in a really ugly way. And it's all going to come out with another unfortunate young couple who've been invited to their house for some cocktails. They get caught in the middle of it as the train wreck unfolds. And so not only for this young couple, but for the audience as well, it's a bit of just a jaw-dropping, slow-motion, no-holds-barred battle between two people who know how to hurt each other and press each other's buttons. Well, Saskatoon has such a terrific theater community, a knowledgeable community, people who breathe this stuff and give their blood, sweat, and tears for theater. And this play in particular is such an incredible example of brilliant dialogue and how it can work in a live setting, the kind of sparks it can set off. So I think we're going to have people who in the audience, they will have heard of this story, they'll know a little bit about it, and I think those people will come in with some anticipation and excitement. I think our audiences are going to be really alive. And in this community, as we saw even with some recent productions, there was a real enthusiastic response to some of those classic, those canonical plays that are legendary. We've all heard of them, but few of us have actually seen them. And I think this is going to be a real treat for people here to come and see what can happen when you get some experienced actors and a terrific director and crew in a room. 50 plus years ago when Albee first staged this thing and it was produced on Broadway, and it just was like this nuclear bomb in the theater scene. Then it was the way that it did expose a lot of the hypocrisies and pretensions behind America's ideal marriage. We're 50 years on from that now, but what's also in this play and what makes it so incredibly enduring is that we are also learning, we are seeing along the way people who, there may be mental illness as a factor here. Post-traumatic stress disorder may very well be a factor in the behaviors that we witness. Alcoholism, for sure. And these are all things that they weren't talking about very much and didn't even have language for in some ways, right, in the early 60s. So this incredible conflagration that happens when these people interact, we understand now is often because they've all brought into this situation their own particular scars and wounds, right? And we also understand better how damaging and long-lasting some of those wounds can be.